Hey, it's Lynne Brown. I'm a speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team and a teaching partner with Empowered Living. And y'all, honestly, for the first half of my life, I was a people pleaser. And then in my spare time, I was literally trapped by the opinions of other people. Honestly, it was more like living in a mental prison. And then one day, something just snapped, and I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I decided to do something. And I saw this infomercial on becoming a speaker trainer. I was like, well, I'm gonna do that because I love to talk, if you can't tell already. But anyway, so I jumped all in, and I'm telling you that it was almost immediate, but every day began to change. And I realized that the way that I looked at things began to change. And when I did that, everything changed. So it was no longer my circumstances that were driving my results. I was like, wow, I do have a part, in the story of my life. And so now I'm just totally committed to partnering with people who want to become the best versions of themselves. And I've committed the rest of my life to do that. So today I'm super excited to bring this powerhouse. I honestly think it might be Wonder Woman. I've always wanted to meet her. I think she's in the studio today. But my new friend, Stephanie Mearse, is our guest today, and I don't want to take any more time away from the show. So everyone get ready, fasten your seatbelts. Stephanie, welcome to the Gritty Women Global Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm super excited to be here, and what you are doing is just amazing. I love it.
Well, we're super happy to be here with you today, and just talking to you before the show. My mouth is just like wide open at the impact that you're having, across the world. So talk to us. Tell what are you most excited about today? Tell us what you're doing.
Absolutely. So, I wear several hats. One of the biggest of my actual full-time position is I am a vice president of an investment firm here in California, Arizona, and in Texas. And I pretty much help run the company. And then I'm also a CEO of a women's empowerment group with 2.2 million followers. I'm a president of a nonprofit. I have written 2 books in the last 6 months and have them published. I also am a speaker, and I've spoken at 7 summits and around the world now, just in the last month and a half. And I've done about 56 podcasts in the last 3 months.
Wow, that is so exciting. Well, you've got to tell us what are the name of your books? How exciting is that?
Yeah, so the books are called Women of Perfection, Perfectly Imperfect. And the other one is Women of Perfection, Perfectly Imperfect, a journaling experience. So I made it actually like more of a journaling thing where you can really work through and go through kind of how you're feeling and really get to that next level for yourself.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I know one thing. Before the sun sets today, I will be ordering that for sure. Is that on Amazon or is it?
It is. Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Okay.
And it's really all about what you were talking about earlier. And it was all about like how we as women have these expectations on our heads, but like it's totally unrealistic to do what is on our heads basically. And like how we as women and mothers especially, like there's just so much that we are expected to do. We're basically expected to be the 1950s house mom, but still have full-time jobs and bring in money and do all of this different stuff. And I'm like, okay, this does not feel right. Oh, and then everything's supposed to be clean all the time. And your kids are supposed to be like perfectly. And I'm like, no, there's something missing here. So basically we work through how not to be that level of perfectionist and how we can be even more productive without feeling stressed out or having levels of anxiety in the process. So it's actually pretty fun. I really enjoyed it.
Wow, that's awesome. It sounds like such a great way for people that are maybe just starting out in the space because, I mean, honestly, 7 years ago, I was clueless. I didn't know that I could even change the results of my life. And so that sounds like a great place for some of our viewers. They might want to start there. So you've spoken 7 summits around the world and you are running all these companies. What are you finding is the biggest need right now in the world?
Honestly, it feels like there's a lot of people right now are going through a mass amount of fear. And so what I'm noticing is that I'm talking a lot about fears and really kind of getting over those fears with my, I also run a consulting firm, and I also run a bunch of other stuff too, and coaching and stuff like that too. So with that, I'm noticing a lot of people that are coming to me, especially business owners, who are feeling like there's a mass amount of fear. They're not allowed to show their feelings or how things are going, because they're supposed to be the strong ones that are showing this leadership, right, role. And even in just regular people who don't run companies, I'm noticing this mass amount of fear, like mass amount of fear between money and and the chaos of the riots, and then the COVID thing, being scared that they're going to get killed by a virus, or afraid that the killer bees are going to get them now. Like, what, killer bees too for 2020? Like, let's add one more weird thing, right?
Yeah, and there were some people even worried about the dust storm that was coming, and last night we were having this conversation. They're like, we've had dust storms for a long time. They're going to just drift in, and they're make beautiful sunsets. We're going to be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're right. Everything is just pushed through the eyes of fear right now.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty intense. So one of the things that I've really been avid about is speaking about how to see these fears for what they are and head them straight on. And so that's one of the things I've been very passionate about. Obviously, I'm very passionate about finances too, and helping people get their finances in order, especially during this whole world of chaos. A lot of people feel very freaked out that they're not going to be able to retire, or that they're not sure where their next paycheck is going to come from, or whatever that is. I really am very passionate about also helping in that too.
Wow. I think that's a whole nother area where I'll speak for myself. I know I was not taught as a young, child growing up, to what money really is, and how to manage it so that it does not manage you. And that's a whole area right there that I know there's so many people. And again, that's one of those topics that I was taught, that, you don't ask people about that. You don't talk about that like it was just something that, was taboo, that you just don't bring that up. Yeah. And honestly, there's so many things in our lives that we're taught, and depending on, what part of the world you're raised in, but I know that we were just, I grew up behind a mask, literally.
Yeah, I feel you. So when I was a kid, I actually, when I was a child, I was homeless with my drug addicted parents. And so I actually saw like gang violence. I saw sex trafficking. I saw like some of the worst things ever. So when you're saying you didn't know anything about money, I feel you. Like, I totally get it. Like, I didn't know anything about money. Like, we ate out of the garbage sometimes. Like, yeah, like I get it. But I chose at 8 years old that I didn't want to be a part of that life anymore. So I chose to go to that next level. Again, it's all about choices, right? And so I learned how to deal with money, and I chose to do to start making the right steps, because it just takes that one choice to make it to where you can become a millionaire eventually. And it's not something that's unrealistic. I mean, I went from being a homeless child to a millionaire before I was 35, because I made that choice.
Wow. That is so amazing, and such an encouraging message, because I think that there are people think that it's like only the few, only the ones that have this or this or this, and they don't realize that we're all so much alike. It's not a matter of who's the smartest in the class. It's not about the one that has the most toys in the toy box to start out with. It's the one that's willing to do just exactly what you're willing to do. At 8 years old, wow, at 8 years old, you made a decision, one choice. You said one choice, and it changed the trajectory of your life.
Yes, absolutely. And of course I've screwed up since then. I mean, there's nobody that's ever been like, I've been perfect my entire life. Like,
no, run from them.
Okay, maybe they think they were, who
yeah.
knows? But I do know that I am far from perfect, and I know that I've had some serious hiccups, but the reality is each day and every day I try to make the right choices to head in the right directions. And the amazing thing is it's amazing how one thing can make a big difference for you, not just choices, but also something that can impact you. So I'm also about what are we allowing into us that is going to make a difference in us. So I listen to very specific music. I watch very specific shows, movies, and all these other things because they're all encouraging, enlightening, going to help me laugh, go to the next level. I don't watch anything that is going to push me down or that is not encouraging on purpose, because when I was 8 years old, that was one of the things that had me in that direction. I was watching some like Hallmark movie or something. I think it was a Christmas Hallmark movie, and thought, God, that looks just perfect. I want that life. And that one thing that I saw, I was just like, that's what I want. And I headed that direction. And I actually, to this day, like, I feel like I had that Hallmark movie life. Like, it feels pretty dead on to where I wanted to be, So it's amazing what we also allow into,
That's exactly right. There's so much power in that, and just so much power in, how we live each day, how we start our days, the first 30 minutes of our days. So many people are controlled, by those little smartphones that we can't even go to the next room without having it in our hand. And, we're so used to letting that drive how our day's going to go. The information that shows up, the news, that we read, or the shares, or whatever, the Snapchats, whatever the things are, the pictures we see our friends post, or Pinterest, whatever the thing is. And we let that set, our plan for our life. And it's a wake up call. This is a wake up call. And I think that the fields have been leveled, and I think it's a great time for people to do this reset, to do this, kind of look into, what do I want different? Because some people were complaining about stuff 4 months ago, and now they would give anything to have that opportunity again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They weren't happy then, and they're not happy now. And so there's something common denominator in that. And the people better look at their lives. It's not somebody's the matter with me.
Absolutely. Well, I think one of the things that a lot of people have done since the virus is a lot of people are looking inwardly a little bit more, at least trying to. Those people who want to make a difference. It's always that choice, right? So there's a lot of people who just want to complain, that don't want to level up or go to that next level, right?
That's right.
Then there's other people who actually really want a change, who really want to be different, who want to continue to move forward and progress, right? And those people who are wanting to progress and move forward have utilized this time during the COVID virus that literally has helped them elevate to the next levels, where they're able to see their core values, core beliefs that are dysfunctional, and utilize those core values to their advantages, or see these fears and see them and head them straight on, so that way they're no longer fearful of those fears any longer that were holding them back, that are now taking them to the next levels. I mean, there's so many different ways that people have improved themselves in this process, but there's a lot of people who just want to complain. And the people who want to just complain, then if that's what they want, then that's fine. But they have to recognize that, like, that's all that they're wanting to do. Unless they make a change or want to genuinely change, they won't. It's their choice. Nobody can make that choice for them.
That's exactly right. Yeah. We all have to answer that question. We all have to look in the mirror. We all have to raise our hand and say, you know what, it's time. I want more, whether you're 8 years old like you did, or 54 like I did. I mean, whatever the thing is. I mean, at some point you gotta make that decision, and it's never too late. That's my thing. It's never too late to begin to be who you were truly designed, created to be, and not who you are, but who you were created to be. And I think there's a big difference there, between the role that we play every day and that little that, and the real true person that we were designed to be.
Absolutely.
And, wow.
I agree with you 100%. Actually, there was a woman that I met a few years back. She's 72, just decided to retire just recently. And she has literally changed her life completely. Like, she's like, I'm going to be an inspirational speaker. I'm going to write books and all this stuff. And I'm like, you are 72 and you're killing it, girl. Like, she looks amazing for being 72. And I'm just like, and I'm there emotionally supporting her on whatever version she wants to do. But it was amazing, because I was like, hey, if I decide after retiring that I want to completely change, I can. I literally just watched a woman do it. Like, it was so encouraging.
That is so amazing that somebody's life at that age that she could have that mindset. And then you see some 25-year-olds or 45-year-olds or whatever that are just settling, for comfortable and familiar, rather than just saying, you know what, there's more for me out there and I'm going after it. I'm running toward it. Even if I'm afraid, I'm running toward it, Yep. But it's so amazing too that, all the fear, when we really realize and look at our lives like today, like right now, this moment, are you okay this moment? I know there are a lot of people that are not okay right now, and I never want to, diminish or say that there are not people going through treacherous tragedy. I mean, there are people dying right now. There are people starving. There are people that don't have a job. But I do believe with all my heart that how we reset our minds, and if we focus on the gratitude and focus on those things, then we can have it. Wow, we're gonna have to have you back on the show. I mean, we have not even started yet, and I'm just super excited. So thankful. Gratitude. I'm gonna write it in my journal tonight. I've already done my morning gratitude, but I'm gonna write down Stephanie Mearse in my gratitude journal, because I feel like that we are connected for such a time as this, and that's all I can say. I just know that we are. So I just want to thank you real quick as we close. Tell us your website, or tell us the best way. I know you have a Facebook group, you have a website. Tell us the best way for us to get in touch with you.
Absolutely. So if you can contact my website, it's www.stephaniemearse.com, and you can either email us there or however you want to message. You can also see all of the different things that we offer as well. But that's the easiest way to get in contact with us.
Wow. Well, you truly are. I knew when I first, after you started talking, I was like, I think it's Wonder Woman. No, now I know you're up there, sister.
I'll take that.
You are one amazing, gritty sister for sure. And wow, you've been such an encouragement I know you're going to be a great encouragement to our listeners, and you have certainly encouraged me today. And so I just want to thank you for sharing your time with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. And we'll connect on social media for sure.
Okay.
All right. Bye.